Senator Menendez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me first, before I make the other remarks I'm about to, acknowledge the hardworking employees of the IRS, many of whom have been working tirelessly since the pandemic began almost 2 years ago next month. And we certainly want to thank them for their dedication to America's taxpayers. But throughout 2021, during the 2022 tax filing season, tens of millions of taxpayers have been forced to wait extraordinarily long periods of time for the IRS to perform the most basic of functions: processing their returns, issuing their refunds, and addressing their correspondence. That's why my office has continued to receive calls about these issues each and every day. We've had thousands of calls since the pandemic began. The IRS touches more Americans than any other entity, public or private. We have to have an IRS that works. That's why I've led or co-led 6 letters in the last 5 months, including the most recent one, 210 bipartisan, bicameral members of Congress, encouraging the IRS to work down its unprecedented backlog and improve its customer service. Now, Ms. Lewis, I worked with the AICPA to send 2 letters to the IRS last month asking for the IRS to halt automatic collections, delay the collection process for filers, streamline the penalty relief process for taxpayers who have been impacted by COVID-19, provide penalty relief for taxpayers who have paid at least 70% of their taxes that were due for the 2020-2021 tax years, expedite the processing of amended returns, provide the National Taxpayer Advocate staff and congressional caseworkers with timely responses, pursue maximum overtime options for IRS staff who are working on processing the backlog of returns, allow additional employees to volunteer to join surge teams to work down the backlog, and to extend overtime options for additional surge team employees. So my question to you, is the IRS listening to any of these requests? What changes has the IRS made in response to these requests?
Thank you, Senator Menendez. I also want to echo your comments about IRS employees. We do appreciate that they have worked tirelessly throughout this process. We need a modern, functioning IRS. The AICPA works best. Taxpayers work best when we have an IRS that works. I also want to especially thank you for keeping these issues in the forefront. This hearing today is important, and that the letters that are going out are important. The IRS has responded, probably in a large part because of the heat that has been raised the last few weeks, so thank you for that. What they have responded is a partial response. They've one notice turned into several notices. There are still several other notices that we would like to see halted that are not on the list. They have done the notice part. They have not extended the hold times. They have not helped us with the penalty relief that we desperately need and that taxpayers desperately need. So yes, there are more things to do. They are responding. We just wish they had responded sooner.
What you just mentioned, are those some of the notices yet to be issued that you believe should be issued?
Yes. Well, notices that have already been issued. If the automated compliance actions stop, then hopefully the taxpayers won't get continued follow-up issues while those are being worked. The concern is there are a few notices like levying Social Security benefits. That's an IRS notice that goes out if there's a collection issue and that's not on the list. So if they're still working on the backlog and there's a balance out there, someone's Social Security benefits could be levied. So there are a few like that and some matching notices that we would like to see added to that list. Again, anything that can help them work through the backlog.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me turn to Ms. Collins. There was a Washington Post article published yesterday, 8 scary IRS notices that are being suspended for now, where you alerted the public to a very important issue. Specifically, you stated that, quote, if taxpayers believe they owe some or all of the tax, they should determine what they can pay, make that payment, stop the running of the interest, and continue to work with the IRS to resolve this issue. How would you suggest that taxpayers best work with the IRS to make those payments or resolve those issues? What's the most painless way for taxpayers to do this?
Yeah, as you pointed out, I think that is one thing I want to make sure that taxpayers do not misunderstand. The suspension of the notice does not mean that interest is suspended. So until the payment is made, the interest continues to accrue. So taxpayers can work with the IRS, and, we all are noticing and talking about the IRS's poor level of service on the phones. But on collection issues, you actually can do multiple things. You can go online and do an installment agreement. If it's under $50,000, it's a very quick process to do. You can also do it through, they have chat bots, so you can do it through a bot as well on the phone. You can reach out to the IRS and do what we call as an offer and compromise. If you can show that you have financial challenges, you may be able to reduce the liability and settle it with finality to put the tax behind you so you can move forward. And they also have something that's called currently not collectible, which if you can establish your financial concerns, they will in essence back off collections for a period of time, giving the taxpayer an opportunity to get in a better financial healthy state. So the IRS is willing to work with you. But again, my concern is I was a big proponent to shutting down the notices and suspending them. But if you do owe the tax, I want to make sure those folks understand that the interest continues to accrue.
Well, thank you for that, and thank you to you and the Taxpayer Advocate Services for the incredible work you've been doing during this challenging time.
And Senator Menendez, before you go, I just want to make sure people understand you have been leading some of these very important letters with respect to reforms that we need in Internal Revenue Service, and we thank you for it. Okay?